Thank you for tuning in for another episode of The Verdict. Today we have a special New Year's episode where we will be counting down our top 3 most anticipated movies of 2018. Our show begins right after this. Welcome to The Verdict. I'm Tiara Hall.
I'm Juan Romero.
And I'm Devontae Banks. Now, to explain the structure of our show today, each host will take a turn giving their top 3 most anticipated films of 2018. We will start by looking at my top 3. Now, personally, for number 3, I picked a movie called Shockingly Evil, Extremely Wicked, and Vile. It is the story of Ted Bundy, but from his girlfriend Liz's perspective. For number 2, I picked Avengers Infinity War. This movie is the culmination of one of the biggest franchises in not just movie history, but just the history of entertainment itself. And number 1, a trailer that came out that I was instantly excited by. And by the end, I was super excited because I realized I was going to be watching that film that night. And that is The Cloverfield Paradox. Now, how do you guys feel about my list?
Right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, the first one, what is it? Definitely evil. What? Say it again. Definitely vile. Extremely vile.
Yeah. It's a long title.
I know. That's what, when I first saw it, I was like, which one is the title? Is it called Vile? Is it called Extremely Wicked? But anyway, I actually didn't know about this until recently. Zac Efron being a serial killer is going to be weird I think for a lot of people. But I am very ready to see him try to be that serious. I mean, he's an actor, so I know he's capable of it. And then, I mean, his performance in The Disaster Artist really sold me on his spectrum of how much he can do, really.
Oh yeah, The Disaster Artist. Well, for me, it was Water for Elephants.
I didn't see that.
For me, it was a High School Musical. I think that really put him in the spotlight.
I mean, he had a lot of serious parts in that movie.
True, yeah. He had to scream.
Great film.
Now, my number 2 film, we're not going to talk about that right now, just because someone else here has that on their list. But we can talk about The Cloverfield Paradox. So first off, I just want to say this movie had probably one of the greatest marketing campaigns in film history. I mean, they advertised it during the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. As soon as it was done, they said, by the way, as soon as the Super Bowl is over, you guys just watch it, right now. So did you guys get a chance to look at it?
I did. Actually, it took me 2 days to watch it because I have a very busy schedule. But I did enjoy it. Of course, I got the whole idea. I feel like it's one movie that it's not too complex for you to watch it in segments because you'll still know what's going on. But if we're being honest, I didn't watch the other 2. So
yeah,
there's that. Yeah, I think I heard that the first one was found footage.
Yes.
I feel like I did watch that because I used to watch just all horror found footage movies. But this was, I don't want to say anything. I really just want it to speak for itself.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Cloverfield Paradox, and I'm not going to spoil it because I'm pretty good about not spoiling it. It's just an okay flick. And honestly, that's okay most of the time. But the thing is, they attach the Cloverfield brand to it. That's a name that means something. For example, the first Cloverfield, I wasn't in love with it that much, but at least it was something different. 10 Cloverfield Lane, oh my God, that movie blew my mind. I mean, with a script that was by Damien Chazelle, had Dan Trachtenberg, a dude I've seen on YouTube forever, a dude who was going to do an episode of Black Mirror and did a Pearl short film. I thought that was amazing. The performances were great. As far as this film, the performances aren't great, is the thing. It's a pretty generic film. Now, one of the things I can say is David Oyelowo, Google, and Batu Rao, and more importantly, Chris O'Dowd, give some great killer performances. But when they're saying some of the most inane dialogue in the world, it doesn't really matter. Also, this is a movie that thinks it's smarter than it actually is. It's really not. This is a movie that feels kind of padded out of ways. And by the way, this is just someone who likes this movie. I like trash. I like bad movies. I like just things that are just kind of weird. Yeah, I would say I like this better than the original Cloverfield, but that's not saying much. I really like that movie. I just like that as a concept.
But it doesn't have the potential to be it because I had never seen the original and I heard of it. Because it was such a big film in middle school, high school when it came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's heard of Cloverfield with the found footage. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it can reach that potential. I don't know what you think.
I mean,
It doesn't sound like it. You say it's great.
Yeah, well, I think like 10 Cloverfield Lane, for example, right? I think that movie, it's just a beautiful show of movie making, right? It was just so Hitchcockian in its nature. I genuinely was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I had no idea what that was going to happen, and it gave me something different, which is something I always wanted in theater. It made me excited. By the way, something that I think is interesting, both 10 Cloverfield Lane and the Cloverfield Paradox, they weren't meant to be Cloverfield movies. Cloverfield movies. Like, so basically the script for 10 Cloverfield Lane was called The Cellar, and the script for the Cloverfield Paradox was The God Particle. They were both shot as different movies. Then later people say, hey, let's attach a Cloverfield name onto it, which can work in some ways. I think it shows like how they can and can't work. 10 Cloverfield Lane, it's a great movie. You attach the Cloverfield name to it, now it's an even better movie because it's in one of my favorite franchises.
Is that true though, or do they have to live up to that potential of the predecessor?
I don't think you have to. I don't think it's necessary even living up to the potential, but there is an expectation. You know, it doesn't have to be as good as a Cloverfield movie necessarily, but there is an expectation that at least you're supposed to give me I've never seen before. That was my main problem. But how did you feel about it, as someone who hasn't seen the other two?
I mean, really, it just put me back into the Black Mirror mode because, you know, there's some sci-fi involved, well, a lot of sci-fi involved, and but it still connected you to like real people lives, like their actual personal problems and stuff. So there was no disconnect. I felt like how I usually feel with regular sci-fi movies. Like I actually like the characters. But if we want to take it back for a second to the Dundee movie, I watched My Friend Dahmer over the break, I think. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And like I feel like that really, I don't know what I thought when I was gonna, you know, when I went into it, but making a movie about a serial killer is a very touchy subject. Like, I feel like you're taking a lot of risk because you don't want to offend anybody, you don't want to make light of the situation. There's a lot of different, like, you know, problems you could have, but I'm very scared to watch this too now because My Friend Dahmer, I feel like it just not enough happened, and that sounds bad because you shouldn't want to see a lot of killing about a serial killer, but this, I feel like if they show some balance between, you know, the real events and also being careful, then I would enjoy it.
Well, I feel like it has to have, like, David Fincher, he made his bread and butter doing serial killer stuff. You know, he did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Zodiac, Seven, the TV show Mindhunter. You know, but I think his method of doing it, taking a journalistic approach is, we're going to tell this story in the most dispassionate way possible, which I think is one of the best ways you can do a serial killer story. Unless, all right, you're doing something different and that you're going to way overdo it with the actors to where the actor is going to be really passionate. Now, we haven't really seen the trailers, but everything from Zac Efron's prep has shown me it looks like he's going to do a very out there interpretation of this character, especially because he's playing a character who's supposed to be this man who's attractive to women, supposed to be someone who's charismatic. It's kind of hard to have a journalistic eye with that. Plus, I think it'll be cool because just like the main character, us, the audience, has to be seduced by his character. And that's something that will ultimately lead to a lot of people's downfall, which I think will be an interesting method for the movie to take. So it doesn't have to do the Fincher journalistic eye, but it also gets to have those great movie-making moments that make you want to leap out of your seat.
Exactly. I watched a video that said he showed some balance between, or the director showed some balance between evil and normal, and Zac Efron's character, well, Ted Bundy. But when you try to normalize serial killers, that's a very hard thing to do. Yeah. I feel like, yeah. But, I mean, I'm very eager to find out how he does it.
Well, I'm eager to find out too. But for now, let's take a look at the Cloverfield Paradox trailer.
Possible earthquake near the Statue of Liberty.
I was just trying to stretch by going back to the Ted Bundy.
Yeah, bro.
Whatever you're doing, stop.
Movies. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about each one by one, just to build up. But my number 3 is Ant-Man 2. Because I'm super into the Marvel universe. I don't know about you, Tiara and Devontae.
Here and there.
here and there.
I love it.
So yeah, Ant-Man 1 was really, Paul Rudd did a really good job, and they're bringing in the Wasp, which is a female superhero, which we don't see a lot of that on the big screen. So I'm really excited for that to come out in the summertime. Then number 2, Deadpool number 2. Which Deadpool, the first one was basically kind of introduced the world to like rated R superhero movies, which we don't see a lot. And it was perfect to the comics character. And they're bringing Cable. I don't know if you guys know who Cable is, but he's a time traveler. So that's going to be exciting. And it can tie into the whole X-Men universe. And then number 1, Infinity War.
Oh yeah,
now I know you're excited. I know you're excited to talk about that.
Get into that one. So all right, so honestly, like I do enjoy Deadpool and Ant-Man, but we gotta get into Infinity War. What makes you the most excited?
Man, like think about it. The first Marvel Universe movie came out in 2008. I was in 8th grade. I don't know about you guys. What grade were you in 2008?
In 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
8th grade, 7th,
no,
middle school.
7.
Yeah,
So this is,
school.
you know, we're college seniors, juniors. This has been our whole life, this whole universe, and it's come down to this one film. You know, all the superheroes teaming up together to fight Thanos, who was previewed in Avengers 1.
Yeah, which is insane.
And we've been waiting since 2012 just to see this dude, and now he's finally like. Me and my brother are super hyped. There's a boxing match after the movie. We already got the whole day set up. Man, I can't even explain. I can't put into words how excited. Like we are hyped. I don't know who I'm excited for. Like I see this new Spider-Man outfit.
Oh yeah, Doctor
Iron
Strange
Man.
meeting people.
I don't know about you guys. Are you excited for this movie?
Oh yeah, me personally, seeing Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
that's one of the best parts of the franchise. Also, something that I really enjoy between this and your second movie is they share an actor, which is Josh Brolin. He plays Thanos, and he's going to play Cable in Deadpool 2, which I think is going to lead to some very great meta jokes in Deadpool. But on a different note with Josh Brolin, he's, in my opinion, one of the best underrated actors. His performance as Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black 3 is probably one of the best like impersonations I've seen of actors since Jim Carrey.
Wow. Okay, so Deadpool is Marvel too, right?
It's under Fox's brand, which Disney may or may not buy.
I think they did buy Fox.
They haven't bought them yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That opens a whole new door.
Yeah, then they can finally get the X-Men in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of weird for him to be in both, and he's. I mean, it'll be kind of obvious, you know. Wait, shouldn't he be the other guy? No, but.
Ryan Reynolds has joked about that on Instagram.
Really? What did you say?
He was like, "You can't be in 2 movies, dummy." Like adding Josh Brolin, and I feel like we're going to get a bunch of jokes. There's even a in the last Deadpool trailer called "Meet Cable." There was a great reference to the Infinity War trailer that I almost spoiled.
I really enjoyed the Bob Ross trailer for Deadpool when he's painting.
Oh yeah.
He's painting trees. I think Deadpool is the superhero for people who didn't read, you know, comics and stuff growing up.
Yeah.
For me, you know, because he's just a funny guy. And
Why is that,
Ryan
though?
Reynolds, what?
Why is that you think he's a superhero for people who don't?
Because
like superheroes?
he's not all just, yeah, I'm gonna beat up these bad guys.
Whoa,
I'm flying in the sky. I'm rich. I'm Batman. You know, he's.
Hold on, they ain't all like
Yeah,
that.
they're
now.
definitely. Doctor Strange is not like that at all.
Oh, no.
Spider-Man's not like that.
Okay, I wouldn't have
Wolverine's
watched.
not like that.
Listen, I wouldn't have watched Doctor Strange if it didn't have Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, honestly, because I watched him in Sherlock.
Wait, did you not see Thor Ragnarok?
Did I? I don't know, but
Or Guardians of the Galaxy?
yeah, I did.
Did you like those movies?
I feel like you're coming at me right now.
No, I was just saying, you know, I feel like people who don't like comics, like I feel like most people don't buy comics, right?
Yeah.
And these movies are the most profitable movies that come out every year. So I think it stands to reason that like I feel like people who don't like comics like all these heroes.
Well, yeah, very true.
So do you? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask that if y'all think because the universe is so big and it's been going on for so many years, is it hard for someone to, you know, like you haven't seen all the Marvel movies to come in and watch Infinity War and know what's going on, or hey, I know this hero, even though they haven't seen all the films.
Yeah.
Is that hard, or do you think Marvel does a good enough job of putting their message out there?
I'll answer that. I will say, even though I haven't watched every single superhero movie out there, I know enough from, society that I'm like, okay, that's okay, and that's all right, yeah, I know what's going on. And they kind of build it up. Well, I mean, they don't really build up the characters that much, but they give you.
Whoa, wait,
Is that shade?
What do you mean by?
Is that shade?
A little
They
bit.
don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
I'm gonna have to agree with her. I'm gonna have to
if
agree
we-
with you. They don't.
Okay.
You don't agree? All right, so let's take, for example, the Hulk, right? He starts out as this person really into science, right? Even when he turns into the Hulk, he's a little reluctant, but he's like, can't have a responsibility.
We're
So when he
not-
becomes in Thor Ragnarok, which is the man who basically, he doesn't even know where he is. He goes into these rages, and it feels weird. It feels like he's losing a part of himself becoming this thing.
I think I agree with Tiara in terms of like the character. There's not really. It's like they're gonna face a bad guy. They're probably gonna get beat up, and then they're gonna come back and win.
See,
That's
they
a
might
formula
give you a
every
little
time.
bit of
No, see,
backstory.
that's
They
not
give
the
you like
formula.
Little bit
they
of
give you,
back-
like 2 flashbacks of like, oh yeah, he came from a very bad parenthood.
Yeah,
see, that's not even the truth.
an
Like,
orphan or something. That's not funny, but
yeah.
that's
All right.
basically.
How about this? Sorry, guys. Spoiler alert for Civil War. All right, spoiler alert for Civil War. In Civil War, Captain America has gone from someone, the first Avenger, who was always honest, American as apple pie, to someone who will lie, to someone who's been partners with for years, right? That his best friend killed his mother. He did not tell Tony Stark that. He turned to a person who wouldn't lie to anybody, who wouldn't even drink, who wouldn't smoke, to someone who would lie about someone's parent getting killed.
Yeah.
That's character evolution.
Yeah.
Like, so you can't say people don't evolve.
Well,
Like, that
when
they
did
don't
that come
change.
out? Which?
When did Civil War come out?
Yeah.
Came out last year.
So it came out.
Oh yeah, 2016. That's what
Wow,
it was,
a whole
2017.
2 years.
Well, he hasn't. Captain America hasn't been in the movie since Homecoming, but that was just a cameo. So people do change. Or for example, you got Spider-Man, who like by the end of the movie, like great power with great responsibility. He learns that, but he also learns that hey, sometimes you have to be a normal person too. And also, Marvel has, in my opinion, some of the best villains. People say don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
hands down, they have, especially their Netflix series.
Oh yeah.
But with the films, like, I see what you're saying, but I think the reason why they may not add as much character as they could is because they don't have to. Because people watching know already, so they get straight to the point. That's what makes the films great, and that's what makes me excited for Infinity War on May 4th, I believe.
Oh yeah.
So definitely, I'll see myself there. I don't know about y'all. But we'll be right back with this trailer, or after the Infinity War trailer, right? Yeah. Check it.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles.
That they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
last and not least, we are on to my top 3 movies. Okay, Solo, A Star Wars Story. Let's chat. Okay, and if I'm going to be honest again, I haven't seen all of the Star Wars movies. I've probably seen all of them but 2 because I was working really hard. I'll get back to you on that.
Did you see The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi, the one that just came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Rogue One?
Yeah.
Did you see The Force Awakens?
I saw like I was
Man, you
watching
didn't
them
name
in the
all of
order
them?
they came out. I like from the very beginning, the order they came out.
So you watched Force.
So all of them except the 2 before Rogue One. Anyway, so I've been studying for this movie because why do you ask? Because Donald Glover is going to be in it, and I needed to be prepared. I wasn't gonna walk into this theater like, yeah, I'm just a Childish Gambino fan. That's why I'm here. I needed to know the history.
Fronting on everybody.
I needed to know the history. And I am very well equipped, I feel like now. I'm very excited to see him do young Lando.
Oh, yeah.
I might cry. Hold on. You guys go talk. Just talk. Hold on.
I told a comrade of mine, I was like, I'm really excited for adultish Gambino in this movie.
What? What do you mean?
Well, he's retiring the name.
Okay.
But honestly though, as someone who has been a lifelong Star Wars fan, this movie is not on my anticipated list for a couple reasons. So Donald Glover being in it is great. I'm one of the biggest Donald Glover fans in the world, even bigger than Tiara.
Nah.
Definitely.
Nah.
I disagree. Trust me,
Exactly.
No, I've been a fan of his since like everyone like hated his stuff. All right.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been a fan before like most people. Like, were you a Derek Comedy fan?
A what?
Derek Comedy.
I know what that is, but
See, boom, biggest Beano fan. But anyway, one of the reasons I'm not looking forward to it is Alden Ehrenreich. Look, this guy was great in Hell Caesar because he played. They say you should always do and play what you know, and he played what he knows. He played how to be a bad actor, and that's what Alden Ehrenreich is. He's a bad actor. He's no Harrison Ford. They should have got someone like an Ansel Elgort. And plus, I mean, like the trailer was so cringe at certain points. Wow. Like even though it made me swell with emotion, that's because they manipulated me with the Star Wars song. But after I got a chance to look at it a few times, I was just like, this movie is not the movie I expected it to be.
No. Honestly, I'm not at all excited for the Star Wars movie. I think Disney has made it, all these new Star Wars movies, I think they've made them more child-oriented, which, I mean, that's their business. Disney aims towards family-friendly. But, like this last Jedi, I did not enjoy it at all. I mean, I was ready to walk out the theater.
You like Last Jedi?
No.
I loved it.
It was just too, I think, it's not like the classic Star Wars, you know, like.
How do you get the classic Star Wars with all the technology you have now, though?
It's hard. They didn't have it then, though.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying in terms of what you see. It's more of the writing. It's kind of, you know, the jokes maybe little kitty or, you know, but the original like Empire Strikes Back, that was a dark like I'm actually your dad, boy. You know, like. It was crazy, but then I don't know. But I'm a huge Han Solo fan. He is my favorite character from the Star Wars character list, whatever that's called. But I don't know. I don't know, honestly. But childish or Donald Glover, he is a great. I mean, I love Atlanta, so hopefully he can do a good rendition of that character.
Oh yeah. I'm very excited.
And have you become a Star Wars fan watching all those old ones?
Yeah, I really enjoyed them, even though they're super long.
In a good way, in my opinion.
I've enjoyed them. I really, in a good way. You feel like you need to fit all of that.
Yeah.
There's just so
like
much
Last
like
Jedi,
alien stuff.
Movie.
Yeah.
But plus, Kylo is one of my favorite characters.
Kylo?
Yeah, Kylo.
Oh yeah.
He saves the movie, for sure.
I hope Adam Driver is going to be in this one too. I think, right?
Adam Driver? I don't believe so. I mean, it's a prequel.
Oh.
No, Disney's doing it
We're
like
going back.
Yeah, like Rogue One was a prequel
That's
when
why
they take
it's
out the
young
Death Star.
Lando.
But what is your number 2? Tiara?
My number 2. Thanks, Devontae. It's The Incredibles. Now, I know this is a part of all of our culture, right? Am I right?
Wait
The
for this
Incredibles,
boy.
man. I feel like the first superhero movie I saw in my whole life, maybe. I don't know. No. It came out like
Incredibles?
how long ago did the first one? Dang,
2001.
I thought so. Okay, yeah.
I believe
long time
2001 to 2003. I'm not really.
That range.
But
though, I know that for
childhood.
sure. We were young, and that's why a lot of people were joking, saying if I see any children in that theater, I'm going to have a problem because that is for the millennials, the young millennials. It's for us.
I hope they say
the
the second one's better than the first, or they start saying,
"Oh yeah,
I'm a real fan." No, you weren't even alive, boy.
Well, you don't know if the second one won't be better than the first, though. It could
and
be.
it's supposed to take place right after the first one ended. Like, how did 15 years just not even happen?
Not even
like,
happen.
That's crazy. Like, only an animation movie can do that. What did you think?
Me personally, I'm cautiously optimistic. Because The Incredibles, in my opinion, is one of the best original Pixar movies. And that was back when they had the Pixar mandate that we don't make sequels, no circumstances. So it's one of those things, it's kind of scary to me because the movie I truly do adore. I have friends who truly adore this film. And it's one of those things that it kind of scares me in a way because I don't want like this precious piece of my childhood to be messed up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at Monsters Inc. for example. They did a great job with Monsters University. Is that?
No.
You didn't like it?
Monsters University was trash, man.
I enjoyed it, but maybe it was the nostalgia. It wasn't. It's
Yeah,
obviously not
you were
going to be
just-
as good, but the nostalgia of we finally got these characters back, or maybe just because we were kids, we thought the movie was good.
No,
You
no,
never
I
know.
watched The Incredibles as an adult.
Yeah.
It's good.
I
And
watched
like,
it.
like, I give you guys examples. Toy Story 3, I'm not ashamed to admit, that movie made me cry, all right?
Yeah.
And I think that is a great testament to great filmmaking.
Yeah.
And if I grow up with the first two Toy Stories, and I'm like, those were great. I don't want them to make a third one. I really didn't want to do it, but I just thought
And they're
it
supposed to
was-
be making a fourth one, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Are you
Which,
serious? Oh, yeah, they are.
which might go well.
Oh, God. Yeah, well, my last movie is Black Panther.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of speaks for itself. It's going to be amazing.
Be fire.
Ryan Coogler directing it. I mean, it's a perfect choice. Kendrick Lamar doing the soundtrack.
And SZA.
Chadwick Boseman.
Well, yeah, she's just featured.
Miss me with that.
You listen to it?
Yeah,
They
the
are-
soundtrack. Kendrick came through. SZA's on there. I think he got a song with Travis Scott. The Weeknd on there. So
Oh, yeah.
I already dropped a music video with SZA and the visuals. Are
really, ooh,
amazing. But I'm really I feel like Black Panther is a movie where you can get excited just by everybody else's excitement, like about this movie. It can't go wrong. It really cannot go wrong. And I watched the premiere night, like the live, Tumblr live video of it.
Oh, yeah.
And
so you've seen the film already.
no, I'm
Oh,
talking
I'm about to say.
the premiere. Like
I was gonna say,
Donald.
I'm stealing your laptop.
Right now,
Yeah,
yeah.
let me see.
I wouldn't tell him myself like that. But
Daisy's looking at you like, go ahead and say something.
right, yeah. Yeah, Donald Glover was there, Issa Rae was there. All of the like greatest Black creators that are happening right now were there.
Plus, Donald Glover's in the universe, so it makes sense he would be there.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, because he's at Homecoming.
He was talking about Spider-Man. Well, when he was there, they were asking him about it. But you guys,
It's exciting. I mean,
it's gonna be crazy.
the first it's a black superhero. I mean, Blade, but that don't even count really.
Yeah. Well,
So it's exciting.
yeah.
It's gonna be lit in the theater.
It's going to be great. But thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, we'll see you at the movies.